Hello and welcome to Midyear Wardrobe Declutter. Awesome to see you all coming and joining us live. Please introduce yourself in the chat. As I've said before we started recording, let us know where you're joining us from and what you are looking to learn. And if you're watching on YouTube, please say hello to us. Even though you are watching a recording, use the comments there as well and say hi. Let us know where you're joining us from and if there's anything that we haven't covered today. But we're looking forward to sharing all sorts of things on decluttering the wardrobe, particularly change of seasons here in Melbourne. We're going from autumn into winter, and it's a really good time to be putting all those summer things away and getting out the winter woolies. Although being in Melbourne, the woolies are never too far away because it's often beautiful in the morning and cold in the afternoon. We've always got our layers close at hand. So as I said, great time of the year to be doing this mid-year wardrobe declutter, and looking forward to helping you along the way. Thanks, Dolla. Dolla's joining from Melbourne as well. Mary Lou, my awesome virtual assistant, is joining us from the Philippines. Thank you again, Mary Lou, for all that you do for the business. And Susan introduced herself earlier. She's joining us from Perth here in Australia, and she'd like to let go of some clothes that she's had for a number of years. So let's get stuck in and start to address some of these things that we have popped in the chat there. And a big gold star to Bill Moore, who is one of our fabulous long-time supporters and comes along to all of our sessions. So thanks, Bill. Always love you to be here in the room with us. So as I said, we're going to record the session. We're going to send it out to people that couldn't make it in person. Hello to all those people as well. And looking forward to sharing our tips and tricks, and which we can all do along the way. If you've got something that works in well with what we're talking about as we're going along today, please share it in the chat. So my business, Space and Time, is all about making conscious choices about how we use our space and time. So it's not just about going along with, doing things how we've always done them, just because grandma told you to do it that way or mum said it this way. It's about what's going to work for you and your family, using your space and your time the way that works for you. And then we're going to talk about also creating systems around that. So if you decide, yes, you want to do some decluttering so that you can do some more artwork on Saturday afternoons, you love to paint, something like that, what's the system that we can create? But no, we're not talking about artwork today, but just using that as an example. What's the system that we can create around that so that you can make sure you do your artwork on a Saturday afternoon? So that's what my business is all about. As I said, let us know what your intention is today by using the chat, because any changes of any sort are much easier if we've got a clear intention, so you know what you're looking to learn. And also I've got an offer to make later in the session about joining me for a one-on-one program, a Get Focused program, which is all about what are those important things that you should be doing in your life that are being a little bit neglected. Let's work one-on-one so that we can help you move towards those goals and to be living and having the life that you want to live. So I'll be sharing that a bit later on. Just quickly going to have a look at the chat before I introduce myself. Thank you, Rachel, joining us from Melbourne as well, and welcome to the Space and Time team. Awesome to have you aboard. Mary Lou and Rachel, please meet each other. As I said, here I am. I'm Julie Cliff. I am a professional organizer and declutter coach. Been running my business for the past 8 years here in Melbourne. Before that, I was an executive assistant and administrator for 20 years. So helping others get and stay organized is something that I really enjoy doing, particularly in the office environment. And then the last 8 years doing that sort of thing in the home. So, being organized at home makes such a difference to the whole running of your life. So really enjoy doing that. And I am a wife, 2 sons who are both at school today, one of them doing some exams in year 12 today, or it's called a SAC. So he is busy at this time of year. So that's me, and that's how I became a professional organizer and declutter coach. And so working in people's homes each and every day, this afternoon, and going out to a client to help go through their toy cupboard. And there's just too many of them. It's a little bit unorganized, and then just trying to figure out like a rotation system. And I also call myself a declutter coach when we are doing a program such as this. So I am helping you learn the skills and then learn to be able to back yourself, coach you to be able to go on and do the work yourself. So there I am, and how I became a professional organizer. So we are going to go through the 6 steps of the space and time organizing system. If you've been to one of my sessions before, you will know the 6 steps. Bill, you'll be able to go all through these 6 steps. You would know them back to front. So I'll briefly tell you the 6 steps of the space and time organizing system, and then I'm going to go into them in more detail in relation to decluttering our wardrobe. So the first one is stop the stuff. Stop more things from coming in your front door. We'll talk about that more specifically about your clothing shortly. Second step is your commitment to being organized. So, you know, you're going to have to start to do some things a little bit differently, or maybe go back to the way you were doing things if you have been even more organized in the past. So, you know, you need to make some changes. Let's get committed to doing this thing right. The third step is sort the stuff. Sorting really helps you understand what you've got and so you can see what you've got into different categories, and then it's much easier to be able to let things go from there. And that one runs straight into the fourth step, which is things you no longer need. So that's the decluttering step we'll be talking about. Then the 5th step is easy storage. So it's deliberately put all the way down in the back of the system here. We've done a lot of legwork. We've got rid of a lot of stuff. Now we know what we're going to keep, and let's set up the storage that's going to work for you and that system around it. And the last step is maintenance. So looking forward to running through these steps now in relation to our mid-year wardrobe declutter. So here we are. Let's get stuck in. Continue to introduce yourself as you're coming in. Use the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from and what you would like to learn. And where you're joining us from, what you want to learn, and if are there any sort of challenges you're facing, just so we make sure that we know what we're doing as we're going along, and I can address those things. So as I said, the first step in the space and time organizing system is to stop more stuff from coming in, because having too many things can be really hard work. It can be frustrating, it's overwhelming, and sometimes we end up having to rebuy things because we can't find that long sleeve black top that you normally wear, when it gets a bit cool. So it can be so frustrating when we can't find things because there's too many things in our wardrobe. So let's stop more from coming in. I'll talk about some exact ways we can do that in a second. But also, I often see in people's wardrobes so many things hanging there with the tag still on them. So they're obviously not being worn. And we'll talk about unworn clothing being perfect to donate. We'll talk about that later in the session. But I see it all the time that things are just hanging there. Why are they hanging there? So anyway, we'll ask ourselves those questions a little bit as we go. So we will really want to try and reduce the amount of stuff that we don't wear that's in our wardrobes. And the other thing about having too much stuff and why we want to stop more things from coming in is that we can't find anything, as I said just before. We don't know where anything is. It's frustrating, it's overwhelming. Sometimes it can make us late because we're running to get to work or to an appointment or drop the kids at school. Such a probably unnecessary thing to be, running around looking for your missing shoe. So we really want to reduce the amount of stuff, stop more from coming in so that we can at least start to tackle the backlog a little bit later on. Makes me so frustrated, and I'm sure it's frustrating for my clients as well when I get there and they say, oh, just watch out there at the front door, Jules. My sister dropped off 5 bags of clothes that she doesn't want anymore, and we're going to go through them today, which is good. I'm happy to do that, but that means we're not going to get to the job that I was supposed to be there for. We're having to deal with these more things that are coming in. So anyway, let's stop more things from coming in. Here's a few other ideas on how we can stop more things coming in. Have a good think and a bit of a stock take of what you've already got in your wardrobe. Now, you can write yourself a list, or there are a lot of apps out there that you can actually categorize and take photos of your clothes and that sort of thing. I don't have that many clothes, so none of this is really of interest to me. I really try and keep a simple wardrobe so I can see what I've got and wear things a lot. But if you do have a lot and this sort of thing sounds like you have a bit of a go at it, but don't let an app or any of that technology hold you back from what you're actually trying to do. You're just trying to know what you've got so that when you're at the shops, you're not tempted to buy another one. You can look at your app and go, oh yeah, that's right, I've already got that long black skirt. I don't need to buy another one. So taking stock of what you've got in your wardrobe can really be handy. And another thing you can do to stop more things coming into your wardrobe is to try a new combination. You can, actually shop your own wardrobe. You can go into your wardrobe and go, oh yeah, I haven't worn those pants for a while, and I've never worn it with that top over there. So it's almost as though you've got a whole new outfit because you're wearing it in a different way. You don't need to go to the shops to buy another one, or you don't need to get online and scroll and buy another one. Just pop it in a new combination and you feel like a new person. And it's like, as I said, a new outfit already without going anywhere near the shops. Put a different scarf on it, different necklace, different bag, different belt. And before you know it, you've got a whole new, whole new look. So try and do that. Shop your wardrobe before going to the actual shops. Another way to stop more things from coming in is to resist the sales. Do you really need to buy one jacket, get one free? You probably don't even need one jacket, let alone 2. So really be careful. Those marketers, those salespeople are so tricky, so clever how they do their marketing and their sales. You really want to make sure that you do need the item before you buy it, not just buying it because it's on sale. And please try on the clothing. Go there in person, try it on. Really try not to do online shopping unless you've already got one and you know it fits you. And so you're going to get another one at a different color or something like that. But try it on, and make sure it fits properly. I can't stress that enough. The number of times, again, that people have got things in their wardrobe still with tags on it because they bought it online and it never fit. So it's still hanging there. Another couple of ways to stop more stuff from coming in is to make a list of clothes that you do need and stick to it. So I do actually need a few more of these sort of black 3/4 length tops, and I've got it on my list when we're at the shops next. So I will have my list of clothing I need to buy and, be very diligent and stick to that list and not get, spirited away with all the shiny objects on the side of extra things that I could buy. So make that shopping list to stop more extra things from coming in. As I said before, resist the aimless scrolling of online shopping. It often ends in disaster. I've had a couple of clients that tell me about things that turn up at their house that they really don't even remember buying. They bought it online late at night, maybe after a couple of drinks, and they don't remember that they ordered it. So that can be a little bit scary. And that second last point there that I've got is you could borrow or hire an outfit for a special occasion rather than buy it. So again, you'd wear the garment, get it laundered, and then send it back to its owner. You could borrow it as well, as I said, from a friend. I've done that a number of times for different events that I've needed to go out for. So let's stop more stuff from coming in. Have you got any other suggestions? to stop more stuff from coming in your wardrobe. So that's been all about the first step. Let me have a look at the chats. Thanks, Bridget. Bridget's joining us from Sydney. Her challenge is she's hit the wall with decluttering and having limited space. Would love to keep going. Good on you, Bridget. Hopefully we can get you some more inspiration and motivation today. And Tanya says sentimental clothes are tricky. Awesome. We will talk about sentimental clothes when we get to our decluttering step. Again, if you have been just joined us, introduce yourself in the chat and let us know what you are looking to learn today. So I'm going to go on to step 2, which is your commitment to being organized. Oh, just before I do, Sherry has put something in the chat with some ideas on how to stop more things from coming in. She says, only buy what you love. Yes, love it. She says, I've bought stuff thinking I can return it later. Not a good idea. That's right. We hardly ever get around to returning it later, do we, Sherry? But I love your idea. Only buy what you love. Yeah, if it's, yeah, it's okay. Well, you're probably not going to get it out of your wardrobe and wear ever. So don't even, pick it up and buy it in the first place. Thanks, Sherry, for sharing that tip. That is a beauty. All right, as I said, step 2, your commitment to being organized is all about really changing your thoughts and your the way you're approaching being an organized person, a way that you're approaching your wardrobe and the way you're approaching this particular task, which is decluttering your wardrobe. So what we want to do is think about how we've done things in the past and really start to make some little changes towards being more organized and making little tiny steps as well about to letting things go. A few of you have said about sentimental items or items you've had for a long time. Let's make those changes in little baby increments. Yeah, sure, you can go into your wardrobe. And again, we're going to talk about the actual decluttering step shortly. You can go in there and throw everything upside down or throw everything out, but I'd rather you start with just a clear focus of being organized and just do it in small increments. It might be every morning as you're getting ready for work, you might just spend 10 minutes thinking, oh, I'm going to wear black pants and a shirt today. Let's have a look at all the black pants while I'm there. So we were just starting in a very small way. We're not starting with a huge half an hour or a whole day of session. It's just being committed to starting. And it doesn't really matter where you start, just about getting there and doing little bits. Again, a couple of you said about having a little trouble with motivation. Maybe let's try 10 minutes. Let's put the timer on, get your watch out, get your phone out, or even the good old kitchen timer. Put it on for 10 minutes and have a bit of a go. And as I said, this is being committed to making some changes. You can't say, I'm going to go, run a marathon today and then just start running. You start with small increments and you build up and you build up. Same as if you're going to, you want to lose weight, where you want to start by small steps, maybe adding some really good healthy food, and then reducing some of the things that you don't want in your diet anymore, and just making those tiny changes. And it's the same when we're talking about our decluttering, being committed. This is a long marathon, this one. This is a long journey, and we're just starting out with this commitment to being organized. And also, if you want to remind yourself what it's all about, you can write yourself a little card. This one says, I can find what I want in 30 seconds or less. So if it gets a bit tough and you're going, oh, I've had enough of this decluttering, get your little card and go, oh yeah, how good would it be? It only takes you 2 or 3 minutes in the morning to find what you're going to wear, or even the night before, because you've made that commitment. That's what you're committing to. You're doing all this great work of decluttering, so you can get yourself ready for work, ready to go out and about really quickly, and it's fun. You look at your wardrobe and go, how good does that look? Rather than open the wardrobe and go, and yet you don't know where to start. So as I said, this step is all about being organized. So you can start to do things that organized people do, which might be new to you. Or it might be getting back to how you used to be. I know that a lot of people say that, I am quite an organized person. I just haven't quite put the effort in lately. So let's make a commitment to get back to that, to doing what organized people do, which is small habit changes, hanging your clothes up every night when you get changed out of your uniform or out of your work clothes or whatever whenever you change clothes and put your pajamas on. You might even think about when you make that change as well. Maybe it's too late at night. Maybe it's 11 o'clock just before you want to crawl into bed and you're too tired. Maybe it might be better that you did it when you get home at 6 o'clock in the evening, change into your pajamas then, and then you've got a little bit more energy to hang up your clothes, put them in the wash, hang up your jewelry where it should be. So have a think about the time of night that you're starting to get yourself organized for bed as well. So again, these are all just little changes that we're making to help us be organized in relation to our clothes and our wardrobe, and which extends out to our bedrooms as well. And again, just making those little changes each and every day. And we'll talk about some more ideas in the maintenance step. But really, you need to, if you've found yourself with too many clothes, found yourself overwhelmed, you'll need to start to do things a little bit differently. As I said, get back to how you once did it when you were feeling like you were nice and organized with your clothes. Who's got some thoughts about that? Pop it in the chat. What's your commitment to being organized? Which day this week will you start to spend some time decluttering and organizing your wardrobe? Let me have a look at the chat. Thank you for participating, everyone. Hi, Janine. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming. Janine says you could create a capsule wardrobe for a limited number of days and see how you like living with less. Like when you travel for a few weeks, it can be freeing. Janine, I love that idea. So you've just got a very small number of clothes that mix and match. And, it doesn't matter which ones you grab, they go together. It fits you well. And it's just that beautiful curated wardrobe, Janine. I love that idea and would highly recommend everybody have a go at that one. That is a great way to reduce the amount of stuff we're bringing in and also being committed to being organized. Excellent. Sherry says she agrees. Capsule wardrobe is a great idea. The 80-20 rule probably apply to her clothes. She says wear 20% of the items 80% of the time. It's so amazing, isn't it, how few clothes we do wear in our wardrobes. Thank you both for participating there. Let me go to the next step, which is sort the stuff. It really is amazing in this SYS, this third step, sort the stuff, is amazing what sort of process and a natural flow starts to come when we sorting our things. So you can really see what we've got, and you could use your bed or a freestanding clothes rail. You can get them quite cheaply from Kmart or other stores, but you can at IKEA have a good one that's very inexpensive that you could just use for this process. You might be able to use it going forward or pass it on to someone else that might be doing the same thing. Just gives you the opportunity to bring out some of the clothes out of your actual wardrobe or walk-in robe and let's see what you've got. Maybe start with your jeans. Bring all your pairs of jeans out. You can see them hanging on this clothes rail, or use your bed in the same way and just start sorting by category. You may have them already sorted in your wardrobe in this way, or you may not. You may have a floordrobe. I was working with a lady last week that had an extensive floordrobe, but we did start working in the wardrobe first so we could free up some space to hang more things rather than just using the floor. But as I say, this sorting step is an awesome way to be able to see what you've got. Let's get all the jeans out, as I said, have a look at those ones that you like. And then the next step, we're starting to look at the actual decluttering step, but there might be a different category. You might want to even start easier. You might even want to start with your socks. Get your socks out. Maybe they aren't that sentimental to you. So you might be able to go on and have a look at sorting your socks. You could put them in pairs for a start. Most people like to wear paired socks. Some are real rebels and happy to wear ones that aren't matching, but I like my pairs. But the idea of just starting with the easy categories as well when you're sorting. We're talking about letting go of the sentimental items. Let's maybe leave the sentimental items for a little while later. Let's start with something simple. Let's sort the things out that we have. Find all your t-shirts. You might want to hang them again on the hanger or fold them all neatly and just have a look at them, put into categories, the sizes, the colors, because that's something as well. Some people do have multiple sizes in their wardrobe. Some people, their weight does fluctuate, and that's no problem at all. And they know that, and they really are happy to hang on to their clothing because that's just what their weight does. But other people I've seen that I work with often that have got tiniest things that they wore when they were 15, they would have to cut off both their right arm and their right leg to be able to fit into the clothing now, those real sentimental things. So it's there might be something that we could look at letting go shortly, because but this part here, we are sorting into the sizes as well. That can be really helpful again to see what we've got going. Have you used this step before, this sorting, and has it been helpful for you when you're sorting your clothes at home or anything else around the house? Would love to hear your thoughts. But as I say, this really helps if you're going through all your wardrobe, your hanging space, the drawers, each of your little pigeonholes that you might have your clothes in, sort of bring them together, just going one category at a time and sort them so that you can see what you've got rather than just bits and pieces everywhere. As I said, just start small. I wouldn't recommend to do a Marie Kondo and bring everything that you own from everywhere and put it on your bed. I think I would have a heart attack if I even did that with my small wardrobe. And I know a lot of my clients have multiple wardrobes. So let's just start small in one little category. Let me have a look at my comments and chat again. Thank you. Janine says she plans to give 10 minutes decluttering today to get the ball rolling. Good on you, Janine. Thank you. That is excellent. Great commitment to being organised. Sherry says, I schedule 1 hour every month. How good to put together her capsule wardrobe. Put them into the calendar on her phone each month. I will make note of what I don't use and select those items for donating. Good on you, Janine. I love those ideas for being committed, and that's really what it is all about, being committed to being organised. We've got that time. Janine's doing some today. Sherry does it every month. Perfect examples of being committed to being organised. How about this sorting step? Do you think it would be easier to just start in these little sorting of the categories when you're trying to get motivated to do your decluttering at home? Okay, we're going to move on to step 4, which is the decluttering step. Step 4 is things you no longer need. And we'll start with the easy stuff first. And I really like to encourage people to let go of duplicate items. So we're talking before about getting out all your jeans and sorting them. You might soon see that you've got 4 pairs of dark blue jeans that are high rise, that, you know, the long-waisted jeans. And you hate long-waisted jeans. You don't know why they're even in your wardrobe, and somehow you've ended up with 4 pairs of them. So that might be a nice, easy, low-hanging fruit for you to be able to let go of these duplicate items. You don't wear one of them, let alone wear all 4 of them. So I highly recommend letting go of duplicate items. Again, if you've decided and found out in that sorting set that you have 10 black t-shirts and a couple of them are high neck, like a high round neck and you just feel a bit claustrophobic in them. I don't like them. I like a bit more of a V-neck on my t-shirts. And you've got some of those t-shirts all in black and you're not wearing them. They're duplicate items that you're not wearing. Let go of those duplicates. If you're not wearing them, pass them on, donate them, which I'll talk a little bit more about as well. But have a think about those duplicate items that are not being worn, or you've just got too many of them. There might be something you just wear once in a blue moon, so you really don't need 6 of them. You've got a lot of evening gowns. You might have 7 or 8 or 9 evening gowns and you don't really wear them very often at all. Again, you could hire them or borrow them that I spoke about before. So have a go at that low hanging fruit, the duplicate items, and see if you can let go of those ones first. And again, that sorting step helps you find those duplicates. Again, remember what we're trying to achieve here as we're going along, the idea of finding something in 30 seconds or less. That can be really good to keep in mind as we're letting things go. You might have something, let's talk about some of those sentimental items. You might have a bundle of stuff that you used to wear when you were 15 hanging in the back of the wardrobe, but it's making everything else so squished up in your wardrobe that you can't even get in there and you can't move the clothing apart, and it's really difficult. That's not going to help you find things in 30 seconds or less. Having a heap of stuff, sentimental items that you're not wearing in the wardrobe is not going to help you achieve that goal. So keep your goal in mind as you're moving forwards. I'll come back to sentimental items in a second. Beware of the excuses. I might wear it one day. Well, if it's been in your wardrobe for 15 years and you haven't worn it, you probably won't wear it. So you could possibly let go of some of those things that I might wear it one day. And also, as I said, let go of category. By category, once you've sorted, go through the sorted jeans, the sorted category of t-shirts, the sorted category of socks, and then you can start to decide which things you're wearing out of your sorted socks. Which ones of those are you wearing, which ones are itchy, which ones are too short, which ones fall down all the time. So you could sort and let go by category. Selling or donating used clothes, unused clothes, the clothes that you're not wearing anymore, just let them go. You can have a go at selling them if you think they are going to be worth your time and your energy, to take the photo, to put it on Facebook Marketplace, to deal with the buyer, to get them to say, will you take $5? Oh no, I'll take $7, and then for them not to turn up on your doorstep. That is completely up to you if you want to spend your time selling your items. Absolutely knock yourself out if it's an expensive item that you haven't worn very many times and you can see on Facebook Marketplace or eBay that they have sold recently something similar and they did sell for a good price. You can certainly choose to use your time to sell your items. And you'll probably find some consignment shops around your local area as well that will take your clothes. I was doing this with a client yesterday, actually. You drop your clothes off, they have a look at them, they keep them for a while, try to sell them, and then once they do sell, you get a bit of a cut of that. So selling on consignment might work, but a lot of the time people it's not worth the effort for people to sell their items. If it's just something that came from Kmart in the first place, or it was just a $2 t-shirt or a $10 pair of jeans, just let them go. Donate them to somebody that's in need of it. But again, it's completely up to you if you want to spend your time selling your items. But a lot of the time, I find it much easier to just let it go and then use the time to do something else. Give yourself a time limit as to how much you will keep. I'm going to do a video in the next couple of days about my workout gear and how I decide which of my workout gear I keep and which ones I let go. And one of those things I was thinking about when thinking about creating this video is I have just the right amount of stuff at the moment. My running pants, my tops, and my jackets, like my little sort of lightweight jumpers, that they just fit in my drawer at the moment. I really don't need any more. So that is my limit. If they don't fit in the bottom drawer, they can go. I'll find the things that I don't wear so much anymore, and I will just say goodbye to it. So give yourself a bit of a limit as space-wise as to how much you will keep. You know, one tub, one shelf, one drawer, or also, you know, I am just going to have 5 pairs of jeans, or I'm just going to have 5 shirts. Give yourself some boundaries and limit yourself as to how much you will keep. So these are a few ideas on letting things go that you no longer need. So we're going with time. I'll keep moving, doing very well for time. So practice decision making as well. If we're practicing letting things go, like our socks or things that we aren't attached to, that makes us better decision makers. We get more confident in making decisions. We go, yeah, good, I let that thing go and the world didn't end, it's all good. Or I let that thing go, yes, I really do need it. Perhaps you might need to go and buy yourself another one, or borrow from a friend, or figure out something else to do to get around it, rather than having to buy another one if you've given it away. But also practice decision making by giving yourself a 2-minute timer to decide what you're going to wear every day. This is a really good way of practicing decision making, backing yourself, going with those decisions, and not umming and ahhing. Go, okay, timer is on, I'm going to wear this, this, and this. And as I say, back yourself. And that decision making, and you can practice by going to a restaurant and giving yourself a really short amount of time to decide what to eat, and then you know, backing yourself again and being really happy with what you've got, rather than looking around the table and wish that you had that or wish that you had that. Practicing this decision making can really help you in letting things go when it comes to the bigger decisions, like the sentimental items that we have talked about. All right, here are some more excuses for not letting things go. As we said before about clothing with the tag still on it, you know, I've never worn it. That might be an excuse not to let it go, but I say it is in perfect condition for you to either sell or to donate. If it's still got its tags on, you're not going to wear it, most likely. So let it go. As I said, sell it or donate it. Some people think that it might be boring if you have a clutter-free home. And I think that's probably the opposite. I think the less clutter you have in the home, the more opportunity for being spontaneous, for being creative, because you've got the space and as in the physical space, as well as the mind space to be able to get in there and do creative. So I don't think a clutter-free home is boring at all, but I have heard people say that. And some people use the excuse as well that, you know, I need to get organized. But I often think that yes, they do need to get organized, but they need to declutter, really. They need to let things go so that there's not so much to manage. Less things in your wardrobe is so much easier to manage, and throughout your whole home as well. Much, much easier to manage if you declutter, and then it makes it much easier to be organized. And you might be overwhelmed and not know where to start. So that might be your excuse for not letting things go. But we've spoken about a few ways to get you started. The 10-minute timer, starting with your socks, starting with one drawer, one shelf. Doesn't really matter where you start, just make that commitment and start. Again, I hope some of these little tips will get you going and get you motivated. Janine said she's going to just do 10 minutes today to get that ball rolling. And once you start, make sure you leave yourself a bit of time for packing up. You're not running out of the house and left everything in a mess. But hopefully today we've given you some ideas on where you can start. Which of these tips for letting go of things you no longer need have been helpful? Have a bit of a idea and pop your ideas in the chat there. I'll just speak a couple more things in relation to sentimental items. And one of my favorite talks around that is what is sentimental to you may be useful to somebody else. So it may be a pair of booties that your son used to wear 40 years ago when they were a baby, or it might be a blanket they used to use, or it was a jacket that you used to wear yourself, but you no longer like it, doesn't fit anymore, it's way too small. Some of those sentimental items that really do pull at your heartstrings can be useful to somebody else. There are babies in Melbourne that don't have any booties. There are babies in Melbourne that don't have any blankets. There are people out on the street that don't have a jacket. So have a think about how you could donate those sentimental items to you for someone to actually wear them, to get some use, to get some happiness, some joy out of them, rather than sitting at the back of your wardrobe, taking up this valuable space. So you can't, making it difficult to find the things that you actually wear. Thank the item. Tell the item that's been awesome. Thanks for being part of my life, and let it go. Some of those sentimental items can be so useful for other people. That's one of my favorite things about being able to let go of items for somebody else to wear. Let me have a look. Begin with the socks. Sherry, I love it. Good on you. Yes, please begin with the socks. Such a good spot to start. Tanya says some sentimental stuff just needs to be thrown out. Tanya, that's so good. I love it. Yes, throw it in the rubbish bin. Or there are a lot of places we can recycle the fabric as well. But yeah, just get rid of that bad vibes, some of those things, the old wedding dress, whatever it might be, just let it go. Glad you're on the same wavelength. Janine says I would probably keep the new tagged item or replace an older item. Yep. I think it would do me in to get rid of a new item. Yes, Janine, but make sure you wear it. Make a commitment. Put it in the diary. Next Thursday, I'm going to wear that long top that I've never worn that still has the tag on it. Make a commitment to wear it. Put it in the diary. Don't let it just keep hanging there. I appreciate what you're saying, but sometimes a number of things that I see new in people's wardrobes still with the tags on could be enough for another whole wardrobe. Tanya says that is the stuff I struggle with, is the throwing out. Yeah, I appreciate that. So the throwing out bit, like you say, you could just put it in the rubbish bin, you can recycle it, you can give it to somebody else to do some craft with. Someone I was working with the other day, their daughter does different art, sort of like collage and quilting and scrapping, like as in with bits of fabric all into one, and they use all sorts of different textiles to come together in a craft project. So you might be able to find some crafty people out there that you could pass the items along to, and then that item could have a new lease on life. Yeah. If anyone else has got any ideas for letting go of sentimental items, please put it in the chat. Let them go. All right, let's keep going. Easy storage. I'm going to whip through this because there are a million different ideas out there for storage. But as I said before, if we've got less stuff, I reckon you need less of these storage solutions. But sometimes we might be in a really small apartment and you have to have these types of things. You need to have storage cubes to keep things together. Sometimes you need a tub to be able to put sort of out of season gear in. Sometimes it might be putting blankets in, again, out of season, like which the number 3 is a felt zip up bag. There's number 6 is a laundry hamper. Make sure you got a laundry hamper so you've got somewhere to put your dirty clothes ready to be washed. Don't just put them on the floor drobe on the ground. Get yourself some good hangers. Number 8 is a good shoe rack. Number 7, you could hang multiple pairs of pants or jeans on, and also scarves. And number 4, which is hiding behind people's faces, is those hanging, sort of a hanging shelf that go over the top of your clothes rail. So again, there's a million different ideas online. If you're not quite sure how to store something, drop me a message afterwards if you need some actual storage ideas, but just Google it. Just go storage ideas for small apartment, or wardrobe ideas for, again, a small space or something like that. They'll come up with lots of different suggestions. You might find that you just want to fold your clothes and put them in a shelf like this. Just be wary that, you know, the big piles of clothes can end up falling everywhere and end up in a bit of a mess. Sometimes the things at the back there of those little pigeonholes, things can get lost. But I've got 2 or 3 of these sorts of shelves, open shelves in my walk-in robe, and I like them a lot. That's sort of where my everyday clothes go. So if that works for you as well, to be able to fold them to suit this storage here in your wardrobe. Try these little dividers in your drawers to keep your undies and your bras sort of separated, or your those sorts of things. These ones are from Kmart. You can get them on Amazon as well. They're just sort of expanding like this with a spring in it, so that you can divide up your drawers. Just remember that if you're going to fold things in a neat and tidy way like this, that you sort of need to, again, stay committed to it. I don't fold my undies. I just stuff them in the corner and stack my bras on top of each other, my socks in between. I don't have any dividers. But if you want to be committed to it and, you know, have it all beautiful and rolled like this one, knock yourself out. But again, remembering it does take a little bit of time and commitment. But I know a number of clients that absolutely love this, and you can certainly get more in a drawer. This must be kids' little singlets, I think. They're so small, like baby singlets, I think. They're so neat and tidy, but again, it takes a little bit of organizing. Who likes to roll their stuff? Is there anyone here today? Pop it in the chat. Do you roll things? Do you fold them? Do you hang them? What's your favorite way to store your clothes? Again, if you're having trouble at your home and not sure how to store something in your specific situation, take a photo of it and either text it to me or drop it to me in an email, and I'd be happy to come up with some suggestions for you. But highly recommend, as these steps go along, that you do the decluttering first. You let things go that you don't need, so that then you've got less to store. Then you need less of these fancy storage items, because they just fit neater into the drawers, they fit neater into your hanging space. So try and do that step first. Let's have a look. Janine says she does like to fold things. So she likes to fold them, finds that rolling takes up more space. Okay, got it. Sherry says she does like to roll for travel. Yeah, that is a good way. Helps things not to be so crushed, and good on space saving as well. Good on you. All right, let's keep on going. We're looking at the maintenance tools. If you've still got some more storage ideas that you like to use, that you swear by, pop them in the chat. Let me know, and I'll return back to that in a minute. Or something that hasn't worked, that you thought was going to be awesome, a product that you bought, let us know. We'd love to discuss that. But step 6 is maintenance tools. So we've gone through all of these things today. You know, we got committed to being organized. We stopped more stuff from coming in. We sorted it. We let stuff go. And now we're doing the maintenance. So what can we do each and every day to help you be organized in your wardrobe, with your clothes, with your accessories and all those things as well? And a really good way to start is to return things after you use them each and every single time. So like I was saying earlier in the session, you get home from work, all you want to do is put your pajamas on, or your trackies, or whatever, things that you wear around the house. Do your clothes a favor as well. Take your blazer off if you're corporate in the office, and hang it up on the proper hanger. Take off your necklace, take off your bag, all of the bits and pieces that you're taking, and return them to their permanent homes, back to their storage space each and every time. Don't just drop it on the floor. Just don't say, I'll do it later. It just takes no time at all to fold things, to hang it. It will take you 30 seconds, whereas it could take you the rest of the week if you let things mount up on the wardrobe, or 4 hours, as it did with my client the other day, rehanging things in her wardrobe. Give yourself a little time to adjust as well. If you decided, I'm going to use the sort of skirt hangers with the little clips on them, I'm going to use them for my jeans now. I used to always fold them, but now I'm going to use the skirt hangers for my jeans. Give yourself a little bit of time to adjust to that. You might sort of go to reach where they used to be for a while. But then again, if it's not working after a few weeks' time, or it's just too difficult, it's not working, change it. Move it back to where it was, or try a different system. But don't just be moving things for moving's sake. I get very frustrated when I'm working with some of my clients. Sometimes we might be in the pantry. We've just put the drinking bottles, like the water bottles, just in this particular corner because they fit well there. They're not far from the tap, easy for the kids to grab. And then they go, oh, how about we move them over here? It's like, let's just leave them where they are. Let's give it a go for now. And again, if it's not working after a couple of weeks, we can move it again then. So, but give yourself a little time to adjust. But as we were saying in that first point there, organized people are that way because they are committed to it. We've already spoken about that. And they do things as they go along. They don't leave the dishes on the sink to be washed later on. They have the dishwasher or have regular times of the day to do the dishes. They unpack their school bags, or the kids unpack their school bags as soon as they get home. They fill out their forms straight away to return them to school. So it all takes a little bit of time and maintenance tools to be organized like that. And I know sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. Don't forget to put your hand up and ask people for help if you need, whether it's a professional like myself, or whether it's just a friend or family member or the kids to help you with this sort of maintenance side of it. But it's all good learning, particularly if you've got kids as well, so they can learn these skills of maintaining their wardrobe and all their clothing as well. And don't forget as well, didn't really mention it apart from the idea of making sure you have a clothes basket for your dirty washing. But don't forget, if you've only worn something for a couple of hours, you might not need to wash it straight away. You might be able to air it for a while and wear it again for a couple of hours next time before you wash it. And teach the kids those skills as well, to have a look at their clothes. Is it dirty? Is it stinky? If you've got a couple of teenagers like mine, you probably do need to wash things frequently, but just try and reduce the amount of washing that you do as well by learning those signs of when things actually need to be washed. All right, moving on. That last point there says periodically visit the 6 steps of the space and time organizing system every now and then. So have a think about what are some more ways I can stop more things from coming in, and then go all the way through the steps. Again, I do that sort of every January. That's our long end of year holidays. And that's when I usually sort of reset everything and go back to the basics then. Let me just have a quick look at the chat. Oh, Sherry had to go. Bye. Thank you, Sherry. Janine asked the question, does rolling take up more space? I don't think rolling takes more space, no, but it depends on the space, Janine, that you are trying to put it into. Sometimes rolling isn't the right size for that space, but I often find that you can fit more rolled things into a space. If I've rolled jeans, I've rolled tops of fluffy jumpers, and scarves, and definitely takes up less space. But be interested, Janine, on your thoughts there, why you thought it might take up more space. Okay, let me keep moving because we are right on time and doing good. I'm going to flick through that straight to our summary, which is definitely, please stop more things from coming in the front door. Less stuff is so much easier to organize. Doesn't matter what it is throughout your whole house, the toys, the kitchen gear, the pantry gear, the office stuff, just less is much easier to organize. Get committed to being organized. We spoke about that a lot. Sort it, get the storage and the permanent homes, and then just keep it up with your maintenance each and every day. Small wins and keep going. We'd love to hear what your favorite tips of the day are. Pop them in the chat just as I let you know about what we've got coming up. Continue your decluttering journey with our workshops. Another free one coming up in 2 weeks. Mid-year kitchen decluttering. If you've got too much stuff in your kitchen, come along and check out some tips there as well. And then this one, I can't wait to present this one. Mary Lou, again, thank you for putting this one together. It's a come along for declutter brainstorming. So this one, we're all going to have our cameras on. We're all going to be chatting. There's going to be no recording. Actually, we might need to think about that because some people might not be able to come. We'll think again, but I don't think it will be recorded. Bring your decluttering questions and let's talk about some solutions, tips and tricks. So if there's some things we didn't talk about today, come on Thursday, the 6th of July, which is 10 a.m. Melbourne time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, and let's do a brainstorm about your decluttering. And as I promised, this is a program, 6-week coaching program, Get and Stay Focused. If you are finding it difficult to get those important things done, everything seems to be getting in the way, everybody wants a piece of your time, you come out and spend these 6 online sessions with me, 1 hour a week, and let's get you moving towards those goals that you are really aiming towards. Would love to help you. It might be decluttering, it might be something at work, it might be something personal. Come and join that. Mary Lou has just put the link in the chat for all for that program, and also to register for the next upcoming workshop. So grab those ones. We should just be right on time. I'm just going to have a quick look at the chat, which says, thank you. Janine says rolled towels seem to take up more space. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I need to almost get 10 towels out, fold them and put them in, and 10 towels and roll them and measure, Janine. I might do that for a bit of a interesting post, but thank you for that. Susan said her top tip is start small. And then thank you, Mary Lou. In the chat, she has put mid-year kitchen declutter linked to Eventbrite, so you can click that. Decluttering brainstorming, thank you. There is the link for that, and the Get and Stay Focused. And also, yeah, if you want to talk about anything that we've chatted about today, you're just a bit stuck, please take me up on the 15-minute discovery call. Make a time there and come along. Sorry, give me a call. It'll be a Zoom call. Let's talk about your specific needs. I thank you all so much for coming along and participating. Great to have you here from all around the world. I love it. And looking forward to seeing you at the next upcoming workshops. We're right on time. And again, I thank you for your attendance and your patience. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bridget. Thank you, Mary Lou, as always. Nicole, Dola. Who else did we have? Rachel, great to have you on board. Tanya, Janine, Beryl, and Susan. Thank you all so much, and looking to see you at the next workshop. Thanks so much. Bye for now.